Hey, what's up, guys? There's your boy, Krusty. So, you guys are probably wondering where I was. I tried to start streaming again about a year ago when Ark Survival Ascended came out. I was doing pretty good about streaming regularly, or at least somewhat regularly. And then, all of a sudden, I just quit. And I wanted to come back and kind of explain what happened, but it's been really stressful. So I figured now that I'm kind of getting back to usual, I could kind of get on here and explain to you what happened. So I think it was the same weekend of my last stream. That would have been my birthday weekend that year. And I remember I streamed, I think it was that Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken. And then Friday night, I went over to my buddy's house. And then the next day, I went to go get groceries. Because it was, at the time I was working at Amazon, and I had 3-day weekends, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Saturdays I would do my grocery shopping and get ready for the next week worth of work. So I went grocery shopping, and on my way home, the transmission in my car started acting up. Actually, no, I take that back. If I remember right, it started acting up on the way home from my buddy's house that night, the night before. And then when I went out to get groceries that day, when I went to go get groceries that day, the transmission just said, I ain't working no more. So, the car that I had on the road that I was driving daily just quit working on me. Now, some of you probably know I live alone, so all the bills rely on me. I have to be able to work. I got to pay the bills, right? So, with my only car that was running at the time being down, I had to figure out something. I was going into my birthday was, the date after that, and then Christmas was the week after that, right? So I call into work that Sunday, and I tell them, hey, my car broke down, the transmission's out. I got to figure out a way to get a transmission. I got to figure out a way to fix my car. So I talked to another buddy of mine. It was a neighbor, and he said, hey, I can take you down on Wednesday to the junkyard if you want, and I can help you get a transmission. And I'm like, cool. So I basically called my work back. I was like, look, I'm probably going to have to take this whole week off because I can't get away to go get a transmission until Wednesday, and then I still need to put it in. So at this point, I don't even know when I'm coming back to work. So Wednesday comes around, me and my neighbor, we go down to the local pull apart, and we grab a transmission. I stick it in over the weekend, and I'm ready to go Christmas Eve. So that'd have been right at about a week where my car was down. We didn't work Christmas. I don't remember if they had worked Christmas Eve, but I would have been off that day anyways. And then we didn't work Christmas Day. So I called them up and I was like, hey, I got my car fixed. I'll return on the 26th. Cool. So I go back and return on the 26th. Driving as usual. Transmission lasted me all of about 2 weeks before it started giving me problems again. At this point, I've already missed so much work because the previous transmission went out that I can't afford to miss any more. So I figured out a way to rig up my transmission to where I had second and fourth gear. And I drove it like that to about March, I think it was, of last year, when it finally said, no more. I can't. Matter of fact, I think I still got the transmission sitting in my backyard where I had pulled it out. So yeah, the new transmission, that's the gamble of going to the junkyard, is sometimes you get a bad one, and that one lasted me all about 3 months. So I had to put my other car back on the road, the one that I'm sitting in right now. It was also having transmission problems, and I did search around for fixes for it, and I was trying to figure out how can I fix this, like, for free if possible, because its issue was it would lock up into second gear just randomly, go into limp mode. Well, searching on one of the Facebook groups, people that are into these cars that I'm sitting in, some random guy was like, hey, I got these transmission controllers, I'll send them to you, just let me get your address. And I'll send them to you. You ain't got to pay them for me. Just I want to help you get back on the road so you can get to work. He was being nice. And so I gave him my address. He sent me 2 transmission controllers. He said the only thing I ask is if this don't fix your problem, send them back. I'm like, all right, cool. So I put the transmission controller in. Finally, my transmission starts shifting. I don't have a speedometer. That's not a big issue as long as I'm shifting, right? Cool, I'm able to start going back to work. So, start going back to work, and then all of a sudden, the car that I'm sitting in right now starts having trouble starting. It was kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it would start, sometimes it wouldn't. So there again, I'm starting to call into work because it wouldn't start, and I got to come out here and try to figure out how to get it to start, because it would never do it in a situation where I could diagnose the problem. It always wanted to do it, and then when I go to look for it, hey, I'm working again, So, come time around about June, I'm kind of figuring out how to, get the car to get me to work, but I'm still missing like a day a week, sometimes 2. Luckily, I had a good boss. He wasn't saying too much about it. And he understood the situation that I was in. And, so, yeah, come about June, I'm like, you know what, I gotta get my other car going. Not the one that, the transmission went in. After that second transmission blew out, I'd never liked Hondas anyways. After that second transmission went out, I was like, you know what, screw it. You're gone. Bye. I got rid of the Honda. So I'm like, alright, let me fix my Subaru up. So, the Subaru runs, but not very well, because it's got a lot of aftermarket stuff on it that I need to learn how to tune. So, I remember going into an AutoZone, the one that's up by my house, and I was getting a part for the Subaru, because I was going to try to get the Subaru running, so I'd have a backup. Well, as I'm checking out, the store manager at the AutoZone was like, hey, how much they pay you up there? I was like, pretty good amount. I was making decent money. He was like, how many hours are they giving you? So I pointed at my car, and I was like, it depends on how much that lets me get to work. He's like, well, I can get you 40. I'm like, all right. What's the deal? I was like, you probably can't pay me what I need, though. And he was like, yeah, I could probably get you like 14 an hour. I'm like, yeah, that's a big, big drop in pay. It was like $6 an hour drop in pay. I'm like, I'll think about it, though, because it is real close to the house, plus they give you the discount. So, I thought about it a couple days. I called him back. I'm like, hey, what do I got to do? So, I filled out the application online, got me a job at AutoZone. Went ahead and put my 2 weeks notice in. I was like, hey, I got to take a job closer to the house because of the car issue. I was like, I really don't want to leave because, you've been good to me and all this other stuff. But I just, I need to go somewhere where I can reliably get to work. Well, I officially started working at AutoZone in middle of July, and I've been there since. Problem is, I haven't been getting the 40 hours that he promised me. I've been averaging 33 to 35. And it's just not been cutting it. Not with my bills, especially with everything increasing. Like, my rent went up in October. My electric bill just went up. I think the water bill went up. My internet bill just went up, so I'm probably going to have to downgrade that. Everything's gone up, you know what I mean? And my pay went down, so it's made it harder to live. I've actually been to that point where there's been a couple weeks this past year that I haven't even been able to eat. And I know you can't tell by looking at me, being so big still, but I've lost a lot of weight, just because I haven't been able to eat. I think I'm down about 45 pounds. Good for my health, I guess, but... So that's kind of where I've been at, guys. It all started with car issues and missing work. And then, just compounding, week after week after week, just been hard to even afford to stay alive, let alone think about, live streaming or playing the video games. Yeah, I have one little video game that I play a lot, just because it's kind of autonomous. I could just kind of pull it up, and it's like a card collecting game. Yes, it's an adult one, but I could pull it up and just hit a fight, and then the computer fights for me. And I could just walk away from the computer and let it do its thing while I collect my little cards. And then most recently, this past week, my computer actually died. So it'll be probably another 2 weeks before I can even get up to the place where I got my computer parts at, because the parts that I think died are still under warranty for like the next 2 months. So if I can get up there before March, I should be able to fix my computer for free, other than what it takes to get there. So yeah, that's where I've been. That's why I haven't been uploaded. Just been too stressed out and too worried about even keeping a roof over my head and keeping food in my stomach to even worry about uploading or streaming or anything like that. With that being said, I do have one other thing to touch on real quick. I could really use your guys' participation in this. And what that is if you go to the community tab on my page and click on that and go down to the first post, you'll see a poll that I put up. I kind of need your guys' opinion on this, because I do want to return to YouTube, but I don't think I can do it as a gaming content creator. When I first started YouTube back in 2016, I really wanted to be an automotive, like a car builder YouTuber, and it costs a lot. I came up with the idea recently that even if it still costs a lot, and even if I don't make any money doing YouTube, I thought about making videos of me building my cars on YouTube as a business expense, therefore making my vehicles a tax write-off. So kind of what I'm thinking about doing is, I would love to do YouTube full-time. So where I need your guys' opinions and participation on is to go down to that poll, or even in the comment here on this video, and just let me know, would you like to see me turn this channel here into a car building channel? And I may occasionally upload some maybe ARC videos or something, but most of the time it would be car related stuff. This would give me a little bit of a jump start on the whole getting monetized thing with 1,000 subscribers, because I'm at, like, I think 840 when I just checked a minute ago, even if only 2 of you are actually watching. So should I turn this channel here into the automotive channel? Or should I just completely abandon this channel and start over fresh? Because none of you guys want to watch that stuff. Either let me know in the comments, or go over to the poll and vote on it, or both, please. I need your participation on this. If I don't get enough participation, I'll probably just make the choice myself. So I'd like to hear from you guys first. And with that being said, that's where I've been. That's kind of my plans on where I want to go. And just let me know if you're going to ride with me, or if we need to call it a day. So until next time, have a good day. Peace.